A supreme rising, Dumelang Sanbonani, greetings, Tobela, Khanyali Sedi, Tozakoko gang, light workers, queer gang, queer unconscious, black unconscious, woke gang, woke wanna be, the knowledge seekers, the knowledge collectors, light workers, witch talk, and all spiritual gangsters. Dumelang Sanbonani. Today is the 21st of July in 2023, Gregorian 2023. And we are honoring the life of Bab Credo Mutwa, our great Sanusi, who fell on the 25th of March in the COVID year. I think it was, yes, COVID year. Yeah, I remember those events. And today we're just honoring his life. For those who do not know who Bab Credo was, those are born in my generation, if you remember. Is it the Bolt? Just before the Bolt, there used to be a religious segment on SABC one, I think, yeah, a religious segment where that had like different people. And then I'd always see this man draped in clothing that is not regular, you know, and I was just looking at him and I was like, okay, I don't understand exactly what he's saying, but I remember I was taken by him. I was taken by the words, only for the dots to connect. Years later, now I'm an adult. Now my third eye is a bit peeking a little bit, but yeah, he was a great seer. As an artist, a sculptor. So if you go down to Soweto at the Credo Mutwa village, that is where you will still see, even though the condition is not the greatest right now, it's been deep. Yeah, that's a word I cannot say, but yeah, the states of the place is not really pleasing, for especially knowing the kind of works that Ubaba did, but his sculptures are still standing there. You'll see how he honors the great mother, how he honors the feminine energy from the statues that he created, from the blue people that we see now only in Hollywood movies or Avatar. But yeah, he was one of those who was descended with great knowledge. And to get a bit of glimpse of who he was, get yourself a copy, or you can request it from me. Yeah, just hit me up with your email address, share the PDF versions of stuff. It's called the Reptilian Agenda, where it just puts a highlight on how he became who he was, where he was born, Christian father and a traditional mom with a traditional healer of a grandfather. And yeah, the bouncing between the two homes and how he had to denounce the low vibrational stuff in order to have access to the supreme knowledge of a shaman. So he made great sculptures, and those in the woke spaces, they would liken him to Imhotep. Imhotep was a person who existed in ancient Egypt and Kemet, where he was master. I think we've covered it in one of our episodes here. He was a master of sculpting, master of astrology, astronomy. I don't know the difference still. I will research, I promise I will. Where he was in the sciences as well. So in most things that we have today, Imhotep had a hand in that, or was responsible for the creation of that, even though right now it got bastardized, got stolen, revamped, whitewashed to say that this kind of principle comes from this person, or this formula comes from this person, but actually came Imhotep. The Fibonacci series that we know of as well, Bab Credo also touches on that. So if you haven't seen a Fibonacci series, just take maybe somebody's hair, just look here on the crown chakra, where you see the hair coils like this. So because we are one with nature, we are nature and nature is us, we are also another representation of what actually happens in the greater cosmos, in the greater zodiacs. So just on your head here, you'll see. So it's a shape like this. It spirals. And in one of his videos, he shares how this was actually a portal, you know, and people who do tattoos as a form of spirituality, some have even put portals of that nature on their body, you know. And yeah, for those who are interested in shamanic travels and all of that, and meditation to a higher degree or a higher level, we can actually use those portals. But this is stuff that we're going to get into as well. And yeah, so it is his great, yeah, if he was still alive today, I think he would be 102. He was born in 1921. So I like how his date of birth is also quite significant. And he is also of the principle, yes, Set. He's actually on the cusp of Set and Ma'at. And we Set, that is the principle, yeah, destruction, but also because most things happen in duality, even though it's a shade of duality. So nothing is absolute good, nothing is absolute bad, right? Yin yang, nothing is absolute that. Let's expand our brains, let's expand our minds. So so he's on the principle of God of destruction, and then the one that comes after, which is Ma'at, we're gonna get into. We'll drop that episode on Sunday when we get into the principle of Ma'at, when our restoration comes, the balance, and all of that. Yeah, so I hope I described him a little bit wellish. Yeah, but he was an artist, he was a sculptor, great historian, great Sanusi, great Sia, great Sangoma. He even also, I don't remember, well, I don't know exactly when it was, but there was a march that took place because they had imposed the act, the Witchcraft Act, where it bans people of indigenous healing. No, so not just us as Africans, but this affected everybody. But in the Southern Hemisphere in South Africa, this affected our indigenous healers, our indigenous knowledge system keepers. And yeah, I think they walked, can't remember from where exactly, but to, I think, Opitori. And yeah, so he was more interested in unifying of the people. He was also a great, not a fortune teller, but he could see into the future. So it's a lot of things that are happening today, he predicted those things. You know, he also spoke of this whole vaccination thing that happened. Also, he touched on when it was happening as the Spanish flu. He touched on when it was imposed during the apartheid government, where those who actually got this medical vaccine, their third eye, so it was described as how their sight was stolen. And by sight, if you look at it in an African sense, your spiritual eye, your third eye, what I call your first eye, you know, because if that is blocked, it defeats all of those things that I always recommend. Know thyself, and being able to tap into stuff that you are not just seeing here, this creation that is here, but to enter other realms as well, just by activating your third eye. And we will also touch on the things that actually block your third eye right now, you know. And yeah, he goes on in this book. So yeah, it's a quick, nice, easy read, you know, before you delve into the likes of Indaba My Children, where his writings also are very image from an image point of view, because we think in pictures as a melanated people. So yeah, get yourself on some of his works. I think today social media will be crazy on all of that. So go check out a few clips. Go check out also the conspiracy theories of how he ate human brains and all of that. And yeah, the one thing that I can take from him is how he would describe the creation story, the African creation story. So I know I promised that, but get it from his perspective as well. And how we as Africans pray. You know, he touches on your, what's this? You know, that medical sign with the two serpents. Yeah, so it touches a lot on that serpent power, a lot of things that are misunderstood. So this he describes how it flows at your spine, right? And I think in as a general knowledge thing, we know how important the spine is, but we'll get into that. So what are these two snakes that are coiling on your spine, and also in the middle? We'll also liken it and link it to the African calendar and the principles that we speak about on the channel. Yeah, so it would be a happy solar return to Bab Credo, but yeah, we give thanks for the knowledge. We give thanks for, you know, trying to open our eyes to a lot of things. And those who are fortunate enough can also see the similar sculptures go Gurumani, which is in the northern Cape province, but he has lived go the northwest. And yeah, there was a lot of journalists, including one who is a leader of a political party, who tried tarnishing his names, where school children were actually burning down his house, trying to get him out of the townships, and because of this propaganda that these journalists were forming, So the liberation of us as Africans has always been under great attack, and the likes of Bab Credo have been sending warnings, have been telling us, Skale, Re Mangope wa Batswana, how the coming government is going to do this and this and this to us, and it is sadly manifesting today, So there's a lot I can say about this great man, but yeah, I think if you can let's just commemorate him, not deify him, even though he is deserving and we are all gods. But yeah, we honor Bab Credo. We give thanks to Bab Credo. We give thanks for the womb that he came from. We give thanks for the knowledge that he was able to impart. We give thanks for those who are still open to learning about him and those who are still going to be learning about him. So right now he's literally become part of the people that are only celebrated when they date, That is the artist curse, is it not? So besides being an artist, a great philosopher, a great seer, yeah, he's just a greatness. So Dua Imhotep, Dua Vusamazulu, also the powerful name. We touched on the power of names, but Vusamazulu, but yeah, not just the Zulu clan, but yeah, if you go deeper into the meaning of that, but Uvosa is to awaken, and when we do get to touching the languages part, what Izulu would denote to, what would lead to. But yeah, we give thanks, Bab Credo Vusamazulu Mutwa, and we give thanks for your legacy that continues, and your kids, even though they tried taking his kids from him, turning his kids against him, plugging them into Christianity, and him being vilified as this evil man. But yeah, we give thanks for Boko Nosipho, his daughter, who was named by him as Isis. Isis, for those who know, is the Greek name for God the Mother, the principal God the Mother that we deal in. Yeah, we give thanks to Bokoko Ritendo, the great works of all his scholars as well, and spreading the truth, or his truth, spreading the knowledge, they're spreading the awakening, and those who are still honoring him, and the likes of my friends, who have set foot in his yard while he was still alive and got to be in touch with him. Hallelujah. And yeah, we're really happy for those people who managed to be in touch with him, have communication with him, get direct messages from him. Yeah, even some R&B artists as well. So happy today, happy Vusamazulu Day, if it ever get there. Happy today, African peace.